deal with in between then and now. Still looking at plenty of snowfall. Yeah, temperatures are getting a little bit of an improvement. Teens is upsetting to call an improvement here.
We got a heat wave on deck with temperatures making their
wave.
way into the teens. Tanner, I know we had an interview on deck for us this morning. Are they ready? Are we ready?
Yeah, I think we're ready for it. So we have Steve Roon with the Kent County Road Commission on Zoom with us this morning. Steve, good morning to you. How you doing? Good morning, Steve. Can you hear us? Oh, Steve. Steve, are you there? Can you hear us?
I can hear you.
All right, sounds great. All right, so, we are talking about the lake effect snow that we've had over the last couple of days that seems to be pulling back from the Grand Rapids area. Probably good news for you guys, because that means you can get out there and really start dealing with some snow. So what I guess is my question to you is what are you guys out there doing right now as we kind of have a little bit of a reprieve for this snow?
Well, yeah, good question, Tanner. I mean, right now we're still doing more of the same because more so than the snow, what we're really dealing with is the extremely cold temperatures. This morning, we had some of the coldest temperatures of this event. I saw some -5s and -6s as I was taking my drive around the county this morning. So those cold temperatures still do limit what we're able to do, but we're out there still mechanically removing all this snow, preparing the road surface as best we can for as we get some of these warmer temperatures we expect later today, for sure, Thursday, Friday. So then we'll start really try to peel this hard pack off and get these roads back to a better condition.
Yeah, it was piled up on some of the expressway, the on-ramps and off-ramps. I could see just where the plows had come through and mechanically moved some of that snow off. And so that really seems to be the name of the game because, as you pointed out, a lot of the salt and a lot of the pre-treatment and treatment you guys would do now after a weather event like this is just not working because it's so cold. So can you explain the science behind that? Why does it happen to be like that, salt-wise and treatment-wise?
Well, salt just has an effective temperature that it can really work. We need this salt to get into a liquid solution, brine solution, and what it's really effectively able to do at that solution is lower the freezing point. It can only work so well. And when we see these -5s and 6s with wind chills that even can affect that greater, the effective use of salt or any of our liquids is just reduced. That anything we do tends to make maybe problems worse. So best practice has really been, let's put some abrasives on this road during these really cold conditions and provide some grit, some traction for these motorists. And then we just continue to monitor the temperatures. And when they get to a point where we can make things better, we will.
Yeah, you guys have been working around the clock over the last several days. I mean, this event started back up on Sunday evening and made its way into Kent County, Kent County being the most populous in West Michigan, of course. We have a saying around here at the station that the Kent County road crews really have it together, really all the road crews here in West Michigan. They're so good at what they do. Can you talk about the manpower over the last couple of days? What does that look like? You guys have had people around the clock, I'm assuming, over the last 72 hours, I'd bet.
Yeah, we really have. And it goes to credit the men and women we have at the Kent County Road Commission. And I share a lot of text groups with kind of our adjacent peers with the cities and in the counties. And I know they'd say the same thing. They've got great men and women that are out doing this work. But it does get to be long days. And for Kent County, we have a night crew. And we've just been scheduling them to come in one right after the other. Our day crew is really working. We kind of flex them a little bit between 4 and 6 a.m. based on their runs. They work 12 to 14-hour shifts, and then our night crew comes in and basically takes that same truck and goes right back out into similar runs. And we're just trying to go out there and keep these roads in the best, safest condition we can throughout the events. And you know what? They know this is their job, and it can be tiresome, burdensome, but this is what they really love to do. This is their identity.
Yeah, absolutely. So, with our warm-up, we're calling it a heat wave, but we're really getting into the 30s. I'm sure that will open you guys up to some more opportunities to use some of your treatments, like the salt and any other liquid treatments that you may have for the roads. Can you talk about that when we do hit the 30s closer to this weekend? How does that open you guys up to be able to run some of that snow and ice off the roads?
Yeah, and we're really going to watch that kind of really hour by hour starting this afternoon because we really need to address what's going on the road. So we look very much at the pavement or the ground temperature more than that ambient. And as when we get to where this gets into the low 20s, we're going to start fighting that fight. We're going to use some chemicals. We're going to use what we all are used to with our rock salt, and we're going to add some liquid. Um, Basically, it's calcium chloride. We're going to add to that on the rock salt to have it work a little bit better, more effective. But we all have our tanker loaded up and we're ready to go use pure liquids, which will help it be a little bit more direct and quicker to act. So when we get those temperatures where we're going, we've got a plan in place where we're going to go try to turn these around. And we're coordinating that with Ottawa and Muskegon County so that we're trying to make all these surfaces similar when we can work together.
Yeah, we are looking live at our weather chaser right now. You know, just some of the roads that road crews have been working on. This one being I-96. I know you can't see it, Steve, but I'm curious though, because we just had that law in place where folks are supposed to stay 200 feet back from any sort of plow or salt equipment on the roads. I'm curious, have you guys had any issues with that in Kent County? And if so, what is your warning to drivers that will be dealing with some of the road crews on the roads this week?
You know, we really haven't had an issue per se with a motorist this season yet, uh, maybe coming in contact with one of our plows, but we have unfortunately had some accidents on the system we're responsible for that have been some pileups and some of those that may be caused from encountering whiteout conditions. And when you can't see and then the roads you're driving on are less than ideal, it definitely comes to a point where maybe you're going to run into a vehicle in front of you and it becomes that kind of accordion effect. But definitely the law that talks about 200 feet back is a benefit for all because giving more distance between you and whatever vehicle you're following is definitely beneficial. It gives you more time to react to them and them to you.
Yeah, I know that you're not a law enforcement agent of any type, but I want to ask you, have you been seeing people keep a pretty safe speed on the roads out there? I mean, I'm talking more so our area freeways because that seems to be what clogs us up most of the time. Have you seen people really trying to slow down, or do you see people still, you know, taking it at a risky speed?
Well, I do think more and more as this event has gone on, we're really getting into the third day of these extreme colds where we've had the snow on this freeway system that kind of packed on. We have noticed behaviors changing, but we also know from history that maybe 3 days folks start to get frustrated with it and they may start to pick up the pace. And we just encourage them again to work with us. We're out there doing everything we can, and maybe the snow stops and maybe they'll see on their vehicle some warmer temperatures, but it will take us some time to get these roads back. So we're going to continue to encourage to kind of drive for conditions, slow down, give yourself some extra time.
This next question coming from our chief meteorologist, Samantha Jacks, who's with me right now, but she wants to know, what do events like this, you know, we've got the snow, we've got the ice on a long period of time on our roads. What does this do to our roads in the long term? Are we going to see more potholes when we see the springtime roll around? Or what sort of damage does that do to roads?
Well, the damage is kind of unknown, but it really can do some things to our roads we haven't seen in quite a few years. Samantha can probably speak to that on some history with these cold temperatures. But what it does is it drives frost into these roads. The colder it gets, the deeper that frost is going. And unfortunately, when that frost comes out here in the spring, it's when we impose the seasonal speed and weight restrictions. But as that frost comes out, our roads are very susceptible because we've got some trapped softer ground between that road surface and the frost below. So yes, these cold temps that drive that frost in could really cause havoc here in the spring.
All right, Steve Roon with the Kent County Road Commission. We always appreciate your insight and your time. Of course, I know that you're getting ready to hop off here to go to another meeting, so we really do appreciate you making some time for us this morning.
Very welcome. Thank you.
All right, Steve, thanks.